I'm gonna try and talk about some things today that I kind of want to talk about. This is gonna be a little bit of a rambling video. There's not really gonna be any information that's just like, it's not gonna be like one of my regular videos. It's just gonna be me talking to you as the viewer in a conversational manner. So recently I've been just trying to focus on creating better content for you and to try and pique my interest with topics and subjects that I want to talk about. But frankly, there are none in June and July. I've scoured the internet. I've tried to talk about things that are interesting when it comes to video games, but I mean, my goodness, it is just dry, barren, and just deserted when it comes to video games in the summer and video game information in the summer. I just cannot force myself to try and be all excited and to try and make information that I don't deem interesting or games that I just don't really care that much about. Like there were some pretty good games that came out this summer, like Splatoon 2 and the Crash Bandicoot remake or what was it? It was a remake or an HD remaster of the game, and it's just like those were two really good games that came out in the past couple of weeks, but I don't really care that much about those games. Even though they're good games, they just didn't pique my interest. And instead of trying to talk about those specific games and trying to offer my opinion about those games and or just information circling those games, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to try and force myself to like these two games, even though I understand a lot of people do. Now, for me personally, I think for the past couple of weeks, I have just either been in a sour, depressive mood because I haven't really found any content or any video game or really any ideas that are like, you know what, I really want to create a video like this. There have been some, obviously, and I've obviously made videos about them recently, but it's not like I've just been excited to make another video, or it's not necessarily like I've been very interested to try and make a video almost every single day or every 5 days like I had that schedule that I made a video in June talking about how I was gonna upload videos 5 times a week. Then I realized that that's way too many videos per week. Then I decided to cut it down to 3 videos a week, and I want to try and slow it down and not bombard you with information and content every single day. I do want to try and upload pretty great content, but recently I've just hit this stump and this wall of just bad ideas, like really bad ideas, like ideas that as soon as I got done recording the idea, I looked back at the footage for a couple of minutes and I was looking at myself, talk to you as the viewer, and I was like, this is, I don't mind embarrassing myself sometimes, but I mean, this is just flat out just me hanging myself. It's almost like me lynching myself. I mean, I could not look more stupid on camera than some of the stuff that I was thinking about actually, you know, creating a content or creating a video for. They were all pretty bad. So recently I've been trying to think about things that I want to do in the next couple of months when it comes to videos and streaming, and I kind of have a couple of games that I want to buy and stream and make videos for, but at the same token, there's one game that's going to come out really later this month. It is August, and that's Madden 18. It's Madden 18. It's the newest Madden. I made a video recently talking shit about people who buy fucking NBA 2K games on an annual basis while also buying the microtransactions, and I said, you're a fucking bitch if you buy those games expecting 2K to change even after they've said that they're going to insert microtransactions into those games. Let me explain. I'm not a bitch because I've never purchased a Madden game. I've never purchased a Madden game in the 20 plus years that I've lived. Technically, yeah, it's 20 plus years now. I've never actually bought a Madden game before. And I've never bought microtransactions in 2K, which I did say in that video I did own, and any other game. Like I haven't bought those microtransactions in paid in like $60 games before. So the reason why I'm very interested to play Madden, what is it? 18, right? That's what it's called. Is because, for starters, I love football. I love the sport of football. I love watching it. I love analyzing it. I love hearing people talk about it. I love the sport. I can like football if I want. Now, the problem is that I like watching football. I think even though EA does create annual games, and I think that a lot of these games are annual-based games and annual released games, I think that some of them have some of the core concepts of sports down. I think NBA 2K has some mechanical issues with the games. Like, sometimes players dunk through other players, and sometimes when you go up for a swat, a block, your arm goes through the ball. Like, that's just basic things that they should be able to fix. But I think that for the most part, when it comes to plays, when it comes to being able to call audibles at the line of scrimmage, when it comes to being able to customize your team's defensive and offensive formations, as well as being able to actually play with the NFL players that are based that the game is based off of, I think that it offers a pretty good package. I just don't like how it's released annually and how there are little to no changes within each variation of the game. Now, I've been on the fence about, should I buy this game or should I wait another year? Because I say this to myself almost every single year, and you may have the same problem where you're like, you know what, I'm a huge sports fan. In fact, you may not say this. I'm a huge sports fan. But the reason why I bought 2K, what was it? It was 16. Yeah, it's 2K16. Was I was really excited to play as Steph Curry and be able to shoot like half-court shots. That was not the case. I got bamboozled. I got ramroiled. I got deceived by 2K's chicanerous behavior. And I was disappointed in myself. And I was just like, I got to play as the Spurs, which I did like. I got to create my own player. I got to live, the experience. But it was it was fun while it lasted. I got a lot of hours out of the game. But the thing is that, I'm thinking about buying Madden 18, and it's just like, I looked at some of the gameplay. It was a snippet of gameplay. Just a small, maybe 3 to 4 second clip. And I was like, I don't really think I want to play this game if it looks like this, if the gameplay looks like this. And I was hearing YouTubers describe the game, and I was just like, there seems to be a lot of mechanical intensity to the game that I don't understand yet. Even though that I do understand some things about football, it's not like I have an overarching, in-depth understanding of the sport. I love the sport, I love to watch it, but I'm not necessarily as informed about the sport as you would think. And I just want to play the game. I just want to play the game. Like, I want to play football without actually having to play football. Like, I don't want to put on a helmet and run into people, right? I just want to play it in my chair, on my monitor, and I also want to stream it because I love football. I love watching football. I love talking shit. What I've been thinking of is that I may even, like, stream me playing Madden Ultimate Team with, like, the cards that I get off of packs, and I would grind out packs. And I've just had ideas for that specific game, but I'm just like, if there's such a huge learning curve, and if I don't understand a lot about the sport, I feel like I would definitely not get as much fun and as enjoyment out of the game as I think I will. At the very least, I'll be able to complain about the game. At the very least, like, that's always a positive, because I love talking shit about EA. I love it. It's too much fun. There's so many ways that you can go about it. But that's kind of where I'm thinking right now. Let me know in the comment section down below if you think that this year is the year to buy a Madden game. I feel like I'll get bamboo. I feel like right now, just with the current information that I have available to me, which is very little to none, I feel like I'm going to get bamboozled, ramroiled, deceived, manipulated, hoodwinked, hustled. I feel anything synonymous with just being anything synonymous with just being ganked. Like, I will just get my money stolen from me. And I think that right now, if I don't see any other information, I'm just, I don't know. Maybe you've seen something, maybe you know someone who's seen something. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Really, I also kind of am excited for the newest Stephen King movie, The Dark Tower. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I've read a lot of his books. In fact, I have a couple of books with me. Let me get some of them out here. So I have right with me here Salem's Lot, which I don't remember when he made this book. Hang on, let me see when he made this book. Oh, he made this book in 1975. I read Salem's Lot. I read most of these books really in the past 2 to 3 years. I've read Salem's Lot. I love that book. I read Mr. Mercedes, which he made. He made a 3-part series off of Mr. Mercedes, off of this whole entire concept, which I find very interesting because he usually doesn't make series off of a novel. I've read it before. I have the book. I just could not find it in my room. And I also read his biggest book, The Stand. I don't know if you can see this, but if you just like look at the thickness of the spine, I mean, this book, The Stand, had like 1,400 pages in it. It was a very large book. And I'm very excited just to see Idris Elba in the movie. I love Idris Elba. I think he's a great actor. And I also love Matthew McConaughey as an actor. I'm very excited and interested to see that specific movie as well. But I also haven't read the Dark Tower series. I tried to read the first book. It didn't really go that well for me. I got about halfway through and then I just was like, ugh, I just stopped reading it. But I may try again. I don't really know, but I'm kind of excited about the new Dark Tower movie. I am very excited about it. But I think in the next couple of months, when it comes to just video games that are going to be released and consoles that are going to be released, like you have the Xbox One X, I'm kind of lukewarm. Usually the fall is like the best part of the year, and this is usually when most of the annual releases come out, and usually game developers try and pump out games to get to you, the viewer, and to me and you, the consumer, to try and purchase them before or at Christmas. And I mean, this year again, I saw some gameplay for Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm not interested. I'm sorry. Ubisoft, I feel like taking 1 year off is not I feel like giving 2 years for development time is still not enough. If you look at the most recent Need for Speed game, not Need for Speed Payback, the game I'm actually excited for, the other one that had street racing, it was a disaster. And I was looking at gameplay for it, and it did not necessarily impress me. It didn't say to me, hey, we have really tried to make this game our best game ever. I didn't get that from Ubisoft. So I'm not too excited about the new Assassin's Creed game, nor am I very excited really for any other of the annual releases, besides really Madden 18. And really, Madden 18, I'm just going to wait until people talk about the game, until people get their hands on it to make a decision on whether or not it warrants a purchase. So, I mean, I am very excited for South Park, The Fractured But Whole. I am very excited about it. You can bet your bottom dollar that I will be playing that game and that I will be talking about that game. I'm very excited for it. But, I mean, I'm trying to think of other games. I know some people are excited about Destiny 2, but the interesting thing about Destiny 2 is that it went from this game that had this rhetoric and this narrative from Bungie that was like, you know, this game is going to be a narrative-driven, sci-fi-based shooter, and now it's gone from that to pretty much just a looter shooter. The worst genre of game, maybe besides mobile games, in my opinion, of course. And I mean, I'm just not that excited for Destiny 2. That's just my opinion. Let me know if you are actually excited for Destiny 2. I'm not very excited for the newest Assassin's Creed game. Let me know if you are. I personally don't think that it's going to be a great game. I don't think that it's going to have any changes to the game. But if you disagree, if you agree, let me know. I am very excited for the newest Need for Speed game and South Park: The Fractured But Whole. I hope, and this is kind of going along with Madden and what I was talking about with Madden. It's like with both Madden and Need for Speed, and I know this video is kind of going on. This is like a 15-minute video, but with Need for Speed, I was looking at it and I was just like, wow, this is a heist-based game where you can have multiple levels of cars automatically. Like you can have a Mustang that goes 150 miles, then you can have this really, really high-end sports car that easily maxes out, that can easily accelerate to like 200 miles an hour. And I was like, wow, that's really, really cool. And the game also switches dynamics between certain characters, and I was just like, that's a very interesting perspective. But is it a cross-country game? Are you going to play this game and have to deal with what I perceive as a drawback to the Need for Speed games, where you sacrifice narrative for a length of gameplay or a length of road, where instead of being in a city, you're now across the country? And I saw a little bit of that in the game, but apparently the game also takes place in and out of a city. It takes place in a city. It's kind of like GTA 5 in the sense. That's the type of vibe that I was getting, where you have Los Santos, and then you have the desert where Trevor was, and then you can also have the mountain areas as well. I got that type of a vibe with the newest Need for Speed game, but that's just really speculation on my end. I haven't done a lot of in-depth research on the game, but I'm kind of excited about that game, and I'm interested in seeing what the newest Madden 18 game has to offer. But and I'm also very excited for South Park: The Fractured But Whole. But really, this year is about done, I would say, when it comes to video games. Unless I'm just missing something here. I don't have the stats up for me on my computer, or not stats, but just a roster of games that are going to be released soon. I just don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of months. Let me know in the comment section down below. But also, and I'll end the video actually right now. Also, if you know anything about indie games, I'm not a huge indie gamer. I would really love to know what you think about indie games. What type of indie games are very, very prominent right now. I know PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is like a really, really big game. I was reading an article about it. I may make a video about it, but I know that game is just huge. But let me know what you think about indie games. Let me know what your favorite indie game is. Let me know what indie game I should play. Because I don't know a lot about indie games. I don't know the industry. I don't know the sub-genre of games in indie games. I do have a couple of indie games, but I'm not a huge indie gamer. But I'll leave you with that. This has been 24. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. And I just hope you have a fantastic day. This has been things that have kind of been plaguing my mind for the past couple of weeks. I hope you understand kind of why I haven't been uploading videos in the past couple of weeks as consistently, and it's kind of just because I'm not necessarily liking the information that I have been presented with, and I've just kind of hit a creative wall. But I'll try and have a little bit more videos like this where I'm communicating with you as the viewer about things of this nature. But until my next video, which hopefully I will release another one this week, I hope you have a fantastic day. If I don't see you for the remainder of this week, I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll see you next time.